Hey, what's going on, good people? Today we're going to talk about single moms raising boys. Hey, what's going on, good people? It's your boy James Harris, founder of a movie called Mental Heal, which focuses on men's overall wellness, our mental health, physical health, and of course, our emotional health. And I'm also the author of a book called Man Just Express Yourself, which is an interactive planner guide for boys and men to better express themselves. Again, I definitely appreciate everybody who went out and got this tool. Wives, partners, spouses, you doing these exercises over dinner and date night, definitely appreciate it. Back in school now, so the teachers who are getting this and adding this part of your curriculum, working with your boys on social emotional learning, I definitely appreciate it. And of course, the men themselves, salute to you guys for purchasing this tool to enhance where you already are. And I can't forget about my fellow clinicians and therapists who are using these tools as interventions or just got the book in your lobby. I definitely appreciate it. So if you want to get a copy of the book, definitely go to mentalheal.com or Amazon, Barnes& and Nobles, Target, Walmart, pretty much anywhere books are sold. I definitely appreciate you. And if you're new here, make sure you like, share, subscribe. But if you've been with me through this journey, I definitely appreciate you. I'm monetized now, so continue to support, continue to share it in groups and share it with individuals that you may feel can benefit from this content. So I definitely appreciate you. All right, so to kick it off, we're talking to moms who are raising boys. I like to start by saying you're doing a phenomenal job, but there is some aspects that you probably can enhance in, or you probably just want this knowledge. So, here we are. It's not your fault probably that you're a single mom, or it could be. So hopefully you learn something throughout this journey. Along with letting your child seek his own like heroes and role models, those things are definitely important. There are different things that you can do as well to allow your child to become a good person. Um, so you want that for him, although you're a single woman and you are in a position that you feel like you know what's best for him, he definitely needs that mentorship from a male perspective. So, and this is not a shot at you. So whether or not you have a man around to show him these different things, or your son can benefit, of course, emotionally from a healthy male that you view, whether that's in the community or if you got siblings or uncle or granddad or something like that, those things, those males themselves can be a positive influence as well. Many boys of single moms have already done this, so it's probably a collection of single moms who seek out mentors or coaches or just males who they feel possess the qualities that they want their sons to have. So that can be a benefit as well. As a single mother to a teenager, you have to take the many times like to travel this road because it's different roles and responsibilities to help your teen grow and mature to ensure that he's being successful and happy. Again, not only from a physical standpoint or doing masculine things or whatever the case is, but you want to ensure that he's emotionally healthy as well. Those things oftentimes get passed aside or pushed aside, which they shouldn't. So we definitely have to ensure that we're being cognizant of those things. You want to support your household financially and domestically. Of course, you want to teach those things, but remember, he's a child, he's a teenager. So do it within moderation or do it to where they are cognitively or where you feel that they can benefit from it. Teach strong values and create a fun, loving, nurturing home for this young male, although that you're a woman. Not that you lack anything, it's just best if you did an all-around teaching opposed to just teaching qualities that you feel a man or masculine should possess. Those things are different. And oftentimes they are detrimental to this young boy that's growing up because they become guarded for whatever reason based on those things. So, but as your teen son grow, begin to experience different hormone changes, and it can be difficult being that you may not relate or you do relate and just trying to tell him, he might not want to hear from you being that you're a woman. So these things can happen, whether it's based on experience or whether it's based on you not knowing how to confront certain things. You can facial hair now, so you want him to learn how to shave or at least to be groomed in a certain way. So of course it's best or should be guided by a male within that instance. You know, whether that's you showing him videos or again getting him with somebody within the community who can teach him those things. I mean, I personally didn't learn how to shave until I got the basic training. You know, I was butchering myself up, but we had to rush, we had to do certain things. So I wish I had a male to teach me those things prior to going into the Army. So it was trial and error for me. The important distinction is that teen boys should be sons. You got to remember that. Like, they should not be asked to do little things as if they're the young adult or make decisions beyond the scope of their maturity and understanding. Like, I hear it all the time on social media, like, oh, this is my little man, or he's the man of the house now, or, you know, like, just pushing him or that young child to be in a position that they're probably not ready for. Like, they still should have that childhood and they should learn different qualities. But of course, you thinking like, I got to do this so they can be strong, they can be majestic, they can be the man. But doing those things, you're subconsciously embedding different things within their psyche to make them feel like they got to mature faster than what they are, which can be a detriment to not only them, but their peers, their future relationships. All those things are important. Never make him feel like he's the man of the house, regardless of his age. Like, when it's time for those roles and responsibilities, they'll come naturally. If you force it, it can hurt because they're not maturing in certain areas or they're not developing different skills in certain areas by forcing it on him. Because now this young teen or this young boy is growing faster, neglecting his childhood, neglecting different things, and probably lacking emotional maturity to where it can detriment him in future relationships. True, you know what you want your child to grow within. You know what type of man you want them to be, or you know what type of man you dated and you don't want them to be. So it's definitely a distinction between that. It's another distinction too of being a little man and being responsible for different things that adults supposed to do. So if he is the oldest in the household, but he's still a teen himself, and you got him babysitting other siblings, those things, you know, within moderation. Do his best for you in your household. But I can say, like, if a child, not even a boy child, but take on too much responsibilities too soon, it can, you know, they can be hindered in certain areas because they still have to develop, they still have to grow, they still have to experience life for themselves as well. Your child is not your confidant, your knight in shining armor, or your rescuer. So make sure that you're treating him like your child, opposed to giving him the qualities of which, you know, your father lacked or his father lacked, or, you know, men that you know lacked, you know, because again, you give him too much too fast, it will cause him to mature at a different pace, and it could be detrimental. Especially, it's definitely important that newly widowed or divorced women recognize this. Correct people if they say that your son now is the man of the house, or, you know, that he should be taking care of mommy. Of course, he should or can assist you, but definitely don't want to give him that pressure of feeling obligated to do grown adult tasks at this teenage or, you know, young age. You know, that's unfair to him and unfair to his growth. When you look at your child and you see his father's face, it's okay to get a little emotional, but again, like, don't penalize him or punish him for having those physical features of the guy who created him. You know, again, a lot of women do it, you know, whether it's consciously or subconsciously, it happens, you know, so, and I've heard it happen, sadly. It's okay to feel those things emotionally, but do not have resentment to your child based on a relationship that did not work with the father in whom he looks like or act like, or just have certain mannerisms like. It's natural, it's genetics, you know, so it's something that you probably have to work on as well. Let your son know how important he is to you. So those things can happen whether you verbally saying it, in addition to you showing him how important he is. You know, get that bond going, because you are now probably the first line in which he comes to for everything. So if you taint that or muddy the waters, it might be difficult for you to get that relationship back. Point out the positive qualities in men that you see around on a day-to-day basis, whether you looking on TV and say, oh, hey, look, this is President Obama. He's, you know, blah, 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 blah. Or this is such and such football player. He did X, Y, Z. Or this is Mr. Joe that works. He's owned this business or that business. He mentor boys or whatever. So point out the different qualities that you think are aspirational, so your son can be attracted to those and be like, have some type of aspiration, but also follow his own path. Be a little creative in helping your child learn just different tasks, whether that's considered guy stuff or masculine stuff or however you feel that you need to. But don't put pressure on him if he don't want to do what's considered guy stuff or masculine stuff. Like if you want to cook opposed to play with toy trucks, you got to embrace that. You got to cater it too, because eventually he's going to be hungry. Eventually he's going to have a family. He's going to have to cook. So don't feel pressured based on societal norms to like force him to do things that you consider manly or masculine. No, let him be a child. Let him grow and develop. Masculinity is like a broad term, and I think people overreach when they try to say boys should do X, Y, Z, girls should do that. You're hindering the growth of both those people, whether that's a young girl or a young boy. As your child mature, definitely investigate different boys groups or clubs that he can join. So Cub Scouts is a great example because they do different things like survival skills and teamwork exercises, and just so many different things within that. Or sports, because you're learning the same thing. You're learning to interact with different people. You're taking direction from authority figures, whether those are males or just affluent men, so those things are important. Or chess clubs, because they can develop strategy and learn how to interact with different people. All of those things are definitely important. Teach him values, but let him express himself within his unique way, because that's important as well. He's a male and he will learn like to respond emotionally to situations somewhat differently than you might. So again, don't beat him up too much if you feel that he lack emotion or is not developing at that emotional pace that you would like to see. Guide him, assist him, and let him know it's okay to feel his feelings. Something I often say. Role models are important, which I already talked about. So whether that's somebody in the community or a coach, those things are definitely important for your little man. So make sure that you find them positive role models. Boys do need men, to be honest with you, but it's not necessarily have to be that father, biological father. It can be somebody from your church. It can be somebody from the community. It can be your coworker. It can be, your uncle or family friend, or just somebody that you view as an upstanding man that you will allow your son to possess those qualities, and they'll be getting good lessons from. So those things are definitely important. Just because the father lives at home does not mean that the boy is being fathered. So don't feel like your girlfriend got a 2-parent household, it's the best thing, or you watch these Hollywood stories and TVs and feel like those 2-parent households are the best thing. It can go both ways. So just because you're a single mom or you are raising a child on your own doesn't mean that you're lacking in the area. Do these qualities that I'm sharing with you, and your son will turn out fine, or at least you will raise him to be fine. He make his own decisions later. Even though many children books feature animal families raised by moms, it's okay to read stories that have different kinds of families for your child. Now, whether that is the dad in the picture or solely just the mom in the picture, those things are definitely important, but you want your child to know what a healthy relationship look like. Although, the relationship probably didn't work with you and his father, or, something happened with his father, or whatever the case is, you still want to ensure that you are teaching at least the positive relationships or relationships with the opposite genders can be beneficial and effective. Place high value on family, relationships in order to give your child a realistic approach. I know the media sometimes make it seem like, it's an absence of black fathers or it's an absence of 2-parent households. Listen, those things are, of course, spent a certain way, and it could be based on proximity or whatever, but it is a lot of family dynamics that are different these days. So whether that is a 1-parent household or a 2-parent household, you want to ensure that you're teaching positive relationship qualities. Now, again, if you choose to teach a polyamorous household, then that's something that you have to learn. That's on you guys. Or if you teach an individual household or a 2-parent household or a same-sex couple household, those things are definitely based on you. But don't go with the perspective of a one-parent household can't do it or a two-parent household is better. No, go by what you're teaching your child, and go from there. Try not to have a negative attitude towards men, regardless of how your relationship shaped or didn't work. Because being a single mom is definitely a hard job. I'm not taking that away. But you want to ensure that you're not, taking your resentment and anger out and passing it on to your child. So now he has this construct in his head that, if relationships don't work, you automatically have to be mad, which is not true. So make sure that you are passing those things along in a healthy way. And if you don't feel that you can do that, then of course you got to get the help and healing that you need so you can do that without an unbiased view. Boys sometimes share their soft side differently than girls. And if you're a parent, you got to embrace that. Especially a single mom, you can't be thinking like, well, I would have just did this, or I would have, you're different. Different walks of life, different generational attributes. So all of those things factor in. But that doesn't mean that they are insensitive. At a young age, they're still trying to figure out how to express their emotions outwardly. And oftentimes, from my experience, from my research, from my case studies, or from my just working with boys and men in different settings, whether that's the juvenile setting, the hospital setting, the community setting, the private practice setting, I've seen and I've observed young boys, displaying a lot of anger, a lot of hyperactivity, a lot of irritability, those things because they weren't able to verbally articulate what it is that they want. And that's part of the reason why I wrote the book too, to be honest with you, because they can express themselves and learn to express themselves in healthy ways. So book is a great tool, but of course don't be upset if your child or your boy is a little bit more active than you want him to be. And that doesn't mean that he has a diagnosis or anything wrong with him. It's just that he's still trying to express himself in how he needs to, whether that's through distraction or irritability or anger. So we got to learn to do those in a better way or control it, or at least prevent it. So there are some gray areas there. But again, when these things happen, please don't make him feel bad or less than. Because for him, it's all growth. It's trial and error. He doesn't have that example in the home to show him the positive way, or he has that example in the home and they're doing the same thing regardless of their age. So again, like you got to figure it out and fit it to tailor your young son. Boys may seem a little bit more talkative if you sit down with them and try to start a conversation. And this can go both ways because some of them not. Again, some of them might be fidgety, some of them might be irritable, or some of them just might feel that, Mom, you all in my business. Roll with the resistance. But again, make it clear. If not, refer him to a positive male to have those conversations with. Without a male role model in the home, many teen boys look for examples outside in the real world. And we know all the kids now potentially have social media or at least a phone to where they're viewing who they consider positive males. So that can be a rapper, entertainer, sports figure, so you have to ensure that you're doing this within moderation. Not only those entertainers and athletes and things like that, but you want them to see other affluent males who are doing stuff, whether that's an author, a speech, or entrepreneur, or an investor, somebody that's less active on platforms to where it looks to be derogatory. You got to ensure that you're giving your young one both sides. So they may try to model themselves after somebody, whether it's a favorite teacher or a favorite athlete or a movie star. So you want to ensure that, again, you're putting them in front of men who possess certain qualities and characteristics, and not so much those negative characteristics. Make sure that your teen has a strong moral baseline. Because again, like eventually he's going to have sex, he's going to talk love, he's going to start dealing with the relationships, and you just want to ensure that it's from a safe place and they understand different things. And a male role model who is positive and upstanding himself will teach him those qualities and not just those ones of, oh, you got to have as many girlfriends as you can, or slay as many women as you like. You don't want those qualities to be passed down. You want it to be healthy dialogue, healthy relationship, and positive things. So that was my tips and tools to assist these single moms out here. We definitely appreciate you. Keep up the good work. Don't feel like you're doing a bad job. But again, it's also okay to accept help. I know a lot of people feel like I've been doing this on my own. I can do it by myself. You probably can. I don't disagree with that, but it's okay to get help. It's okay to use these tools to enhance your relationships. But here we go. So I definitely appreciate you. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Let me know if you got any questions or any feedback. I definitely try to answer the best I can or send you a resource. Thank you.